This is the 7th video, and at the start of this one I want to give you half of a secret, and we'll get to the other half later in the advanced video, the section where we talk about some advanced tips or tricks. So there are two basic things that distinguish a Hollywood feature film from an amateur film, or that distinguish really high-end professional video from amateur video. Two basic things. One of them is lighting, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. There are 4 different kinds of light sources in general in film or video. And the first one is called a key light. Key as in primary or most important. And the key light will be the brightest light in the scene, and it's coming in at an angle to the subject's face, like we have here in this video, and usually a little bit above. And that's the key light. The second kind of light is called a fill light, and that's light on the opposite side that is much lighter in intensity, much less bright, and kind of filling in the other side of the subject, fill light. The third kind of light is background light, where there's a light on the background, specifically shining on the background. And then the fourth kind of light is called backlight, different than background light. Backlight is light that's behind the subject and is shining onto the subject, and it creates a little kind of a halo, a glow. It's often called hair lighting, sometimes halo lighting, and it creates a little glow along the back edge and really makes the subject pop out from the background. So those are the 4 basic kinds of professional lights that a professional would set up for a film or a video. The key light, the fill light, the background light, and the backlight. All of those lights will be softened. Rather than a bare bulb, they will all come through a diffuser. So here's what I want you to remember from this video. Indoors, the sun works best as a key light, which is what we have going on right here. Indoors, the sun works best as a key light. Don't use the sun as backlight indoors. Do not film looking into a window with your subject in front of it. Your subject will be black, will be dark, will be shadowed, and all you'll see is this blown out light. The human eye can work with that, but few cameras can. So, outdoors, the sun works best as backlighting, the opposite of how it is indoors. So the sun works best as backlighting outside, but you'll have to either bounce light into your subject's face or light them if you're going to use the sun as backlighting. Or film when it's overcast, and then it doesn't matter as much. Don't use the sun as key light outdoors. If your subject is facing the sun outdoors, you're going to get this in your video. Oh, my eyes, they burn. Try to keep your eyes open. Oh, I can't. So, indoors, use the sun as key light. Outdoors, use the sun as backlight. If you're outdoors and the sun is in their face, just rotate you and the subject around until you get the light the way that you want it. You can make reflectors and you can make diffusers on your own. That'd be some rewarding problem solving. You certainly can buy those things as well, but lighting is an area where you can completely change the professionalism of your video with just very little expense or very little work, just by having a little bit more control over the lighting. And it's an area where you get to practice problem solving, or you get to practice figuring out solutions. So I want to give you an advanced tip here in this video as well. And we'll mention it again in the video on advanced topics. Here's the advanced tip. Magic hour. Often called the golden hour. And it's about an hour to an hour and a half before dusk, before the sun goes down. And about an hour, maybe hour and a half before dawn, when the sun comes up. And those brief moments in the day are the best light in the universe, on our planet. You don't need to diffuse the light because it's already being diffused, because it has to travel so far and it's so close to the surface it goes through a lot of haze. You don't need to play with the white balance, or you don't need to alter the colors much, because as the light bends, as it comes across the surface of the earth, and as it cuts through the haze, it filters out a lot of the blue in the light spectrum. So magic hour, also called the golden hour, is going to be our advanced tip. If you film or photograph during magic hour, you're going to get some remarkable images that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise, in terms of color and the lighting and just how it looks. So what I want you to remember from this video is, indoors, use the sun as key light. Outdoors, use the sun as backlight.